And what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, man, Jay Willie Silly, man, aka Mr. Take It Easy before you end up like Beezy, man. Make sure you follow my Instagram and Twitch, man, in the description down below. Everything you know about your boy Jay is in the description down below. Subscribe to my second channel as well. We got how NIL and the transfer portal killed Clemson's football, and man, Dabo Swinney, man. For me being an Alabama fan, it low-key hurts because, like, Dabo was like one of them coaches, and Clemson was like one of them teams that literally just gave us problems. I'm gonna keep it real with you. They gave us problems. You know what I'm saying? Clemson was a team to be dealt with. You know what I mean? Back then. You feel me? And now everybody's talking about, you know, what the title say, how NIL, the transfer portal, killed Clemson's football. You know what I'm saying? But y'all was the main one telling Dabo to use the transfer portal. Like, I've never seen, I knew Clemson wasn't as good. I was like, Dabo, you had your time. You know what I'm saying? Was a amazing coach back then. I still feel like you are an amazing coach amazing coach. But the Clemson reign is just over. You know what I mean? Y'all lost to Georgia Tech, bro. Just got blew out by Syracuse, bro. And it's like you almost lost to Troy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even last year I was confused on why y'all made it to the college football playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, the teams that you didn't beat a ranked team the whole season. Same thing for you and SMU. Ain't be a ranked team the whole season. You know, got dismantled by the ranked teams that you did play. You know, and just to lose to another ranked team in the playoffs. You know, so I knew I was kind of like confused on why the Clemson hype was so real. Like, it was so real. I was kind of confused by that. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, they didn't do nothing to get this hype that they got. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it showed, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's already the sad reality. You got to understand is that these losses, you can go on a freaking mad streak. These losses, the Syracuse loss and the Georgia Tech loss, will hurt you. You got to understand, bro. How you begin the season is important, and how you finish the season is important. So these two losses that you got, and you getting blew out by Syracuse, that right there automatically eliminated you from the college football playoff. You're not even ranked. So, man, it's really sad to see the downfall of Clemson. Speaking on when they had Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson, AJ Terrell and Dexter Lawrence. Clemson was a problem. You know what I'm saying? So to see Clemson, man, downfall, man, it's crazy. Do I feel like they should get rid of Dabo Swinney? No, because the man is literally like, how many, I'm going to go and check, how many titles do Clemson have? If I'm not mistaken, bro, I think Dabo is the only coach to ever bring y'all titles. I'm going to look it up, bro, because I don't want to be so loud and so wrong. Clemson National Championships. Clemson has won 3 college football playoff, college football national championships. So you won 1981, but Dabo brought y'all one in 2016 and 2018. So y'all won one without him, but so basically, yeah, he's the only coach that really, I mean, Dabo's been a freaking head coach since, I ain't gonna lie, how long, hey Siri, hold on, y'all. How long has Dabo Swinney been the head coach for Clemson football? Let's see. Hopefully. Dabo Swinney has been the head coach of the Clemson Tigers football since October 2008. So bro has been since 2008. Now, I mean, it's 2025, so bro has been a Clemson football coach for like 20-something years. You know what I mean? So it's like, a lot of people don't know what Clemson is without Dabo Swinney. You know what I'm saying? Just like I don't know how Alabama is without Nick Saban. You feel me? But, yeah, man, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Clemson isn't...
Sometimes it's not the coach, sometimes it's the players. And it's just real. Sometimes it's not the coach, sometimes it's the players, man. So you just gotta, you know, this is the first season that Clemson has did this bad in a long time. So just firing Dabo Swinney, like, after what he's done for the program is definitely not a good move in my opinion. I don't think you're going to get a coach like Dabo Swinney, bro.
It once was. Clemson was the team to beat for 6 years, and now it is hard to even imagine that level of dominance coming back. They were lucky to even make the playoff last year as a 12 seed and then got smoked by Texas. That, by the way, that was the first time the Tigers even made the playoff since the COVID year. It has been a very quick downfall for Clemson and Dabo Swinney, and it's pretty obvious that NIL and the transfer portal have been a huge reason why. That crazy 6-year stretch began after Dabo was already at Clemson for 6 years. Then he built a very well-oiled machine that dominated for 6 years after, and it's been good since, but not great. That 2020 season, Clemson made the playoff, and then after the season, not only did NIL begin, but the NCAA also began allowing a one-time transfer without having to sit out. That was a huge change to the college football landscape, and honestly, it killed Clemson. Clemson is a completely different program since NIL and since the transfer portal became prominent. From 2015 to 2020, Clemson made the college football playoff every year, made the Natty 4 times, and they won it twice. NIL and the one-time transfer rule came into play, and it has been downhill since for Dabo Swinney. 2021, it was an ugly 4-3 start for Clemson, but then they did turn around. They ran the table, they made it to the Cheez-It Bowl to beat Iowa State. 2022, Clemson starts 8-0, but loses games to unranked Notre Dame and unranked South Carolina. Still, they end up getting into the ACC championship. They end up smoking North Carolina, but they didn't make the playoff. Instead, they played in the Orange Bowl where they got beat by Tennessee. That takes us to 2023, the worst actual year for Clemson since 2010. Dabo's second season at Clemson. In 2023, the Tigers were 9-4 and 4-4 in the ACC. One of those losses was to buzzsaw Florida State, the number 4 team in the country, but the other 3 were to unranked teams: Duke, Miami, and NC State. Clemson did end up winning the Gator Bowl over Kentucky, and then last season was an improvement. The Tigers went 10-4, and those were some really good teams that they did lose to, outside of losing to unranked Louisville. Other than that, Clemson lost to number 1 Georgia to open the year. They lost to number 15 South Carolina, and then after beating SMU to win the ACC championship, they ended up getting to the college football playoff.
I purposely think that Clemson, like, I don't know, bro. I think Clemson, like, bro, like that junk right there, man. I don't know, bro. I think they kept that game close for a reason, just to not have us go into the playoffs. Like, they could have smoked them, literally could have smoked SMU for sure. But they kept it close, and even Dabo Swinney after the game was talking about, this is a really good team, and they don't deserve to get in the playoffs, and I don't know what team will. Dabo, you think you slick. You did that because you didn't want us to go in the playoffs. That's what you did, you little freaking slick mother effer. You think you slick, you think you smart. You ain't smart, you know what you were doing. You had that talk to them at halftime. Look here, if we blow these boys out, man, Alabama will 100% get into the playoffs. Now, do we want that? No, coach, we don't. So let's keep it close the whole game, so the Crimson Tide cannot make it into the playoffs. I'm telling you, I feel like he had that conversation in halftime. You know, I mean, you was putting straight belt to booty on SMU, and then it's looked like you just started letting them come back. And then that little remark you made at the end of the game, that's how I knew something was up, Dabo.
For the first time since 2020, but then they lost to Texas. Clemson is obviously not bad by any measure, but there has been a dip in play.
Oh, they're terrible this year.
They're terrible. The transfer portal. Dabo has pretty clearly wanted some transfer portal reform and stricter NIL guidelines because, in his defense, and this is right, there really are no rules. Dabo has pretty much been the only truly elite coach that hasn't even utilized the transfer portal much. Clemson added just 3 transfers this season. That seems low. It is. It's also 3 more transfers than they brought in last year. Yeah, I'm serious. Clemson did not bring in a single transfer last year. They were one of 4 teams not to. The other 3, Army, Navy, Air Force. Yeah, the service academies, because you have to be a freshman and then you have to serve in the military. Not to mention you can't even give out NIL. That's insane that Clemson is the 4th team in there. Now, also, credit where it's due. While Clemson has not brought in transfers, they have managed to only lose 22 transfers to Power 4 programs over the last 3 portal cycles. Clemson has had issues with NIL and the transfer portal, and it's led to a decline, but that's obviously not the full story. The elephant in the room is quarterback. When Dabo Swinney has had a truly elite quarterback, Clemson has been really good. If he hasn't, it's been tough. Dabo started his time at Clemson with Kyle Parker as his quarterback. He was solid, but he was a better baseball player. I mean, he was a first-round pick for the Rockies, but also a 2-year starter at Clemson as quarterback. Then Taj Boyd took over, and he was really good for 3 seasons. I mean, he holds the school records for passing yards and touchdowns in a career. He ended up being a 6th-round pick in the NFL draft, and he's actually been an offensive assistant at Clemson since 2021. Boyd set up Clemson well for the future and did set it up well for the truly elite guys that came in after him and led Clemson to that 6-year stretch of dominance. That, of course, came thanks to Deshaun Watson, a future 12th overall pick and 3-time Pro Bowler, and then Trevor Lawrence, a 1st overall pick in 2021. Those two were incredible, and there was only a 1-year gap in between where Kelly Bryant was the starter and wasn't great, but I mean, I guess he was good enough to win games for Clemson. Now, since T-Law, it's been a lot of questions. I mean, the messy one was DJ Uiagalelei. He is not...
But no, he suck. Okay, bro, you know you suck. Is your brother Uiagalelei? Is your Nico Uiagalelei? Is that his brother, chat? Am I tripping? But your brother suck. If that's not your brother, y'all know him. Nico, boy, you should have stayed at Tennessee. Getting all money hungry, but you're looking undrafted. I ain't gonna lie, all that little money hungry junk, that junk be pissing me off. I ain't gonna lie, Nico, bro, I swear, if y'all live brothers, I get it now. You know, the sorry junk running the blood, run the family. You know what I'm saying? But I've been saying you was sorry. I don't even know why you was getting paid big bucks like that in the first place. I'm like, bro, Nico, you suck. You know what I'm saying? The worst thing you could have did was transfer to UCLA. Bro, you finna get benched over there. As of right now, you are an undrafted prospect. As of right now. Your brother, this your brother? But no, he trash. Look at him. Look at him. Do that nigga look like do he look like an NFL player? He don't like he give a F. He out there looking like, but I ain't said this in a long time. He look like he playing for fun. Just look at him. Do he look like an NFL prospect? Do he like a Hall of Famer? That boy like a Hall of Famer. He's like, Hashumana. He like a nigga just, what that thing, what they do on the beach and all that? The Samoans, what you like a Samoan nigga? Just huluing, hulu, hello, whatever, nigga. You like you do that on the beach. You know what I'm saying? You don't like no Hall of Famer gang around here.
Particularly liked in Clemson.
I mean, get a little sorry nigga on my screen.
And had some good moments, but man, there was a lot of bad. And then he ends up leaving. He transferred to Oregon State, transferred to Florida
Look at him,
State
trying to be a pretty boy, trying to show the ways, man.
Practice squad. Him leaving gave the reins over to the current starter, Cade Klubnik. And it feels like every year, Klubnik is supposed to break out, and we're just waiting. But he did improve a ton last season. He threw for 3,600 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, with 7 rushing touchdowns too. I mean, it was a huge improvement, and it set him up for some very real expectations for this season for both himself and for Clemson. And I mean, they just aren't living up to them so far. This season has already started off horribly for Clemson. They started the year as the number 4 team in the country. I mean, that is some big praise, serious expectations.
Bro, they was getting so hyped up after, bro, they were the most hyped up team. I just didn't understand, bro. I just didn't understand the hyped up, bro. They were number 4, bro. Literally, number 4 ranked team. Like, things can change so fast. I'm really not surprised that Clemson is unranked. Honestly, bro, to me, I'm just keep it real with you.
The number 4 team in the country. I mean, that is some big praise, serious expectations. Yet 3 weeks into the season, they're 1-2. To be fair, the opening week was a huge test for Clemson. They had to face number 9 LSU, but it was at home. It was a tight game. It's not like Clemson got crushed. In fact, they were actually up 10-3 at the half. Then they got shut out in the second half while LSU scored twice, and a Garrett Nussmeier touchdown pass to Trey'Dez Green in the fourth quarter was the difference. They win 17-10. Now, that touchdown, it was with 12:18 remaining. Clemson had 3 more drives. They turned it over on downs twice, and they punted in between. The defense wasn't bad, but the offense really struggled. There is no way around that. Cade Klubnik went 19 of 28 for 230 yards and threw a pick. The run game was terrible. 19 total carries, 32 yards. It was a frustrating loss, but not necessarily a bad loss. LSU is a very good team with a lot of talent. Luckily, Clemson then got a tune-up game the following Saturday, getting to host Troy. Even what should have been win, an easy,
almost lost that game.
Sunbelt team, was a battle for Clemson that they did almost lose. Troy was up 16-3 at the half, and one of their 2 touchdowns was actually a defensive touchdown, a 4-yard TJ Thompson pick 6 after a deflected pass. It wasn't pretty, but Clemson did actually wake up. They turned it on and won 27-16. Klubnik hit Bryant Wesco Jr. for 2 touchdowns in the second half. It should have just never been that close. I mean, especially with Troy throwing 3 picks. Klubnik was much better, 18-24, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Wesco went off, 7 catches, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then the run game got going. They got working, 120 total yards. That was all Adam Randall. He had 112 of those on 21 carries and scored Clemson's first touchdown of the game. It wasn't pretty, but I mean, 2 weeks in, back to 500 nonetheless, with the lone loss coming to a top 10 team. Well, that of course brings us to Clemson at Georgia Tech. After starting as the number 4 team in the country.
I've always felt like Georgia Tech is underrated. I feel like Georgia Tech should have most definitely beat Georgia last year. For sure. For sure. Georgia Tech should have beat Georgia last year, bro. For real, bro. I don't know how the freak y'all lost that game last year.
Well, that, of course, brings us to Clemson at Georgia Tech. After starting as the number 4 team in the country and only dropping to 8 after losing to LSU.
It's very underrated, bro.
At 12
Georgia Tech is very underrated.
Safe to say that they probably didn't even deserve to be 12. Georgia Tech raced out to a 13-0 lead halfway through the second quarter, thanks to 2 Aiden Burr field goals and a Jamal Haynes touchdown. Luckily for Clemson, they were able to score right before the half with a Cade Klubnik 1-yard punch in. It helped gain some momentum, and then all of a sudden, Clemson was up early in the third quarter after a 73-yard Bryant Wesco Jr. touchdown from Klubnik. I mean, this was a great run after the catch from Wesco, but man, Klubnik, he makes a really good pass here with a lot of pressure. 2 dudes are about to crunch him in, and he finds the right guy. Of course, the Jackets then respond and regain the lead with a Haynes King punch in with 10:02 remaining, and then Clemson did it again. Adam Randall scores from 2 yards out, ties the game back up, 3:26 left. Man, that is a lot of time though, 3:26. The Jackets came in clutch, they got the yardage when they needed to, and the game ultimately came down to a fire drill field goal from 55 yards for Aiden Burr. His career high was 51.
Dang, they deep.
Drilled a 55
Deep as freak out up.
12 team in the country on a scramble. That is insane. And honestly, he's used to it. Remember, he hit that 44-yarder to beat Florida State last year in Ireland in week 0. He does it again. He beats Clemson 24-21. The Jackets get to 3-0. It's a big win, but it signals, I think, a bigger narrative. Clemson no longer runs the ACC. In fact, they haven't in a while now. And that comes back to Dabo, to quarterback, to NIL, to the transfer portal. It's been a perfect storm, and it's time to question if Clemson will ever return to prominence.
I don't know, man. I just do not know. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't know. See, the living nightmare, the worst situation. See, I was just talking about that little sorry nigga. But yeah, man, the SEC era is officially dead. Oh my God. Here we go with this. SEC era is officially. Boy, shut the freak up. But anyways, you see how these little tenors talk after winning two titles. But yeah, man, man, you feel me? Clemson. I ain't lost for words, man. I don't know what to say, man. I'm lost for words, bro. So I don't know, man. You're not making it to the playoffs this year. You know, maybe next year, man. You feel me? That's a long way, man. You know, football be taking a long way to come back, man. Dang, man. At least we lost to Florida State, them goofy sorry dudes, but hey, at least our loss look better though. You know, because they're number 7. You know, so we lost to number 7 ranked school. You know what I mean? But y'all lost to Syracuse. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got beat down by Syracuse. Y'all lost to Georgia Tech. So it's just, I don't know, man. Clemson.